James sat silently, his breathing heavy but steady. "I fought for people like you," he said, staring at Daniels. The cop's smirk faltered for a heartbeat, then returned sharper. "Keep dreaming, bum. You're nothing." He leaned in close, his breath hot on James' face. "I run this place, you don't." The words hung heavy, a challenge James didn't answer. Instead, he adjusted his coat again, the hidden truth pressing against his chest. Back at the desk, Lopez's phone buzzed, a reply. "James Carter, Army, Iraq, 2006. Purple Heart. MIA since 2015. Lopez's eyes widened. He glanced at James, then Daniels, torn between duty and instinct. "Sir," he tried again, voice low, "maybe we should check his story." Daniels scoffed, waving him off. "He's a liar." End of discussion. But Lopez wasn't so sure. Something big was brewing, and he felt it. Daniels grabbed handcuffs, snapping them onto James' wrists. "Time's up," he said, hauling him toward the cells. The crowd parted, some filming with their phones, whispers turning to buzz. James limped along, his head high despite the cuffs. His coat swayed, the secret inside straining to break free. Lopez followed at a distance, phone in hand, waiting for the moment truth would strike. Daniels, oblivious, strutted ahead, certain of his control, until it all unraveled. Officer Daniels locked the handcuffs, grinning as he pulled James toward the cells. "Sleep tight, hero," he sneered. But Lopez's phone lit up, his VA contact confirmed. "James Carter, Purple Heart, Iraq, 2006. Lopez lunged forward, voice urgent. "Sir, he's a vet." "Look," Daniel snorted, "fake news," but snatched the phone. His eyes widened at the record. Then he shoved James anyway, rattling his coat. A sharp clink echoed as a Purple Heart medal slipped free, hitting the floor. Its scratched bronze star gleamed under the station lights. Silence swallowed the room. Daniel's grin faded. James stood tall, voice firm. Fallujah. Saved 3 men. Lost everything else. Gasps rippled through. Phones flashed, capturing the moment. Lopez fumbled to uncuff him, whispering, "Sorry, sir." Daniel stammered, "I didn't mean, but James Cuttin, you didn't care." The crowd's murmurs turned to shouts. Disgraceful, as videos flooded X. Hashtag On and Not Hate trending fast. The precinct captain burst in, face stern. "Daniels, you're done. Suspended now." Daniels shrank, escorted out under glares. The captain faced James. "Sir, we failed you. VA's coming. We'll make this right." James nodded, medal in hand, his quiet strength unshaken. Lopez watched, awed as justice unfolded. Days later, X-Post fueled a wave of support. Veterans rallied. Donations poured in. A coat, a bed, a new start. Daniels faced discipline, his arrogance humbled. James sat in a VA office, medal pinned proudly, staring out a window. "I hid from the world," he said softly, "but it found me anyway." His story wasn't just survival. It was a mirror. Respect isn't a uniform. It's a choice. Every soul carries scars, unseen battles. Judge too quick, and you miss the truth. This wasn't the end for James. It was a beginning. He'd reclaim his life, one step at a time, proving honor endures. For us, it's a wake-up call. See the person, not the shell. What if you've been Daniels or James? Share your thoughts below. How do we honor the invisible heroes around us? Share this story, and subscribe for more lessons that hit deep. A ragged homeless man limps into a Chicago police station, clutching a worn coat. Officer Daniels sneers, "Get out, bum." But a glint beneath the fabric hints at a secret that'll soon silence the room. The wind howled through Chicago's streets on a bitter March night in 2025 as James Carter shuffled into the 12th Precinct Police Station. His beard was matted, his clothes tattered, and a limp slowed his steps. A faded army coat hung loosely over his thin frame, his only shield against the cold. He carried no bag, just memories of one stolen hours ago, his last tied to a life he barely clung to. The station buzzed with activity. Officers barking orders, phones ringing, civilians filing complaints. James approached the front desk, his voice raspy but steady. "My bag was stolen near the shelter." It's all I had. Officer Mike Daniels, a broad-shouldered man with a buzz cut and a permanent scowl, leaned over the counter. His badge gleamed under fluorescent lights, but his eyes narrowed with contempt. "We don't waste time on bums like you," he snapped, his voice loud enough to turn heads. "Go sleep it off somewhere else." A few officers nearby chuckled, while a civilian waiting for a lost phone shifted uncomfortably. James didn't flinch. "I'm not drunk, sir. I just need help," he said, his tone calm but firm. Daniels straightened, his sneer deepening. "Help? You're a walking mess. What's in that coat? Trash you picked up?" He stepped around the desk, towering over James, who barely reached his shoulder. The crowd grew. 2 officers paused their paperwork. A woman with a child stared. James clutched his coat tighter, a faint metallic clink sounding beneath the fabric. Daniels didn't notice, too busy flexing his authority. "You've got 10 seconds to get out before I haul you in for loitering," he barked, jabbing a finger at James' chest. James met Daniels' gaze, his weathered face unyielding. "I've got a right to report this," he said quietly. Daniels laughed, a harsh, grating sound. "Rights? You? Look at you. Smell like the gutter. This ain't charity." He grabbed James' arm, yanking him toward the door. James stumbled, his bad leg buckling, but he didn't resist. The onlookers whispered, some amused, others uneasy. A young officer, Lopez, fresh out of the academy, frowned from the sidelines. "He's not causing trouble," Lopez muttered to a colleague, who shrugged. Daniels shot Lopez a glare. "Mind your business, rookie." James steadied himself, still gripping his coat. "I serve this country," he said, almost to himself. Daniels froze for a split second, then scoffed. "Yeah, right. A hero in rags? Save it." He tightened his grip, dragging James closer to the exit. The station's hum faded as eyes followed the scene, tension thickening the air. Beneath James' coat, something shifted, a secret waiting to break free. Officer Daniels tightened his grip on James' arm, dragging him toward the station's glass doors. "Last chance, old man," he growled, shoving James hard. The homeless man stumbled, his bad leg buckling under him, and he hit the floor with a thud. His coat flared open briefly. A faint gleam of metal caught the light, but Daniels didn't see it. His face twisted in a smug grin. "Pathetic," he spat, turning to the desk. "Book him for loitering. Teach him a lesson." The crowd murmured louder now, a mix of amusement and unease rippling through the station. Officer Lopez, the rookie, stepped forward hesitantly. "Sir, he's not resisting. Maybe we should just—" Daniels whirled on him, eyes blazing. "Know your place, kid. You don't question me." Lopez shrank back, his jaw tight, but his gaze lingered on James, sprawled on the cold tile. Something about the man's quiet dignity gnawed at him. James pushed himself up slowly, wincing as he adjusted his coat. "I serve this country," he repeated, louder this time, his voice cutting through the station's hum. Daniels froze mid-step, then spun around, laughing bitterly. "You? A soldier? In that getup?" He gestured at James' rags. "Prove it, war hero. Where's your medal? Pawned it for booze." The taunt drew snickers from a couple of officers, but Lopez frowned deeper, unconvinced. Daniels grabbed James again, yanking him toward a holding area in the back. "No ID, no story, straight to lockup," he barked. James' coat shifted as he was pulled, and this time, the metallic glint was unmistakable, a small, star-shaped object pinned inside. A civilian gasped, pointing, but Daniels, blind with arrogance, kept moving. "Quit stalling," he shouted, slamming James against the counter. The impact jolted the coat open further, and the object nearly fell. But James caught it, tucking it back with a trembling hand. Lopez watched, his gut twisting. He'd seen that shape before. His uncle, a Vietnam vet, had something similar. Could it be? He slipped his phone out, texting a friend at the VA hospital. "Check it, James Carter, maybe military. Urgent." Meanwhile, Daniel shoved James into a chair, smirking as he filled out a disorderly conduct form. "You'll rot in a cell tonight, hero," he sneered, tossing the pen down. The station's chatter faded as tension thickened. Eyes darted between the cop and the ragged man.